Alrighty, folks, welcome to episode 1 of this speed run through Chris Sawyer's Locomotion. This level was something I created just to test a few things. I may post a video explaining a few nuances here at some point, but we're going to just get through the beginner stuff. This should take like no more than 15 minutes. The only company stuff I'm really going to be doing is setting these colors here, just because it's a lot easier for me to see. This level's pretty easy. We just have to, whoops, I don't want to start there because I'm going to knock down houses. Now, could I make this a better layout? I definitely could, but I am trying to just optimize how much room I have to do different things, so alright, we've got one train going. Now to supply chain the rest of this. We'll get a few more dollars here. Whoops, need a little bit more of a loan. Find that about 140 to 160 tons is what you can max out with the Baldwin, excuse me. No reason to go slow here. So yeah, all we have to do is get to, I think, 10%. That's going to happen like really quick. So additionally, let's get a train building coal here. This line is going to be used pretty infrequently. I actually built this horribly, so I'm going to just modify that a little bit. I am using a mouse macro. Whoops, that was just silly. Well, speedrun's off to a great start. Enjoy that. Alright, let's try that one more time. This is, folks, is why you always stop your trains, or at least have a somewhat sense of what you're doing before you get too into it. Why do we always wait for a full load of cargo? It's simply because we don't want to have trips where it's just not going to be efficient. We basically want to get the most value for our dollar that we can. Now, if I were doing this a little bit more aggressively, I would have had a whole separate line for coal train, but this is a beginner stage, and frankly embarrassed it's taken this long. We need a little bit more of a loan. Now, why did I share these lines? I don't expect these trains to be moving a whole hell of a lot. It's also just 2 trains. It's a pretty short route. And I think that eventually they'll figure out when each will need to go and get onto a generally good cadence here. Pay back some of the loan while we're at it, and whoop-de-doo, challenge is done. Great. 1 down, many to go. Alright, Sandbox Settler, there's really nothing you can anticipate here. It starts out like really early on, so there's not a whole lot you could do. Best bet here is just find the large cities, create a few train lines, Once again, we're just going to 10%. Let's get these colors somewhat visible here. Let's see. These look like two decent cities. Sagingate? Sagingate. Ah, there we are. And Tumblehead looks like it's a decent size. Now, why am I raising the land here? If you're raising the land just one spot, you will have a better deal on your bridges, especially if you're building early on with the stone bridge. For example, laying a flat piece of track on the ground here costs $22. If I were to build a bridge, it's $70. Even on a partially raised part here, it's still $70. However, if I raise the land, notice it's $30 to raise this up or down. It's $30 to raise this up or down. So if I spend my $30 and then 22 to lay the track, that makes 55. That is cheaper than the $70 for the bridge. So just something to keep in mind. In this case, I'm just going for speed. I do not really care about the cost here. This is going to pay for itself very quickly. Now, you may also wonder, why am I building such a huge station when we are in 1900? There's like absolutely not that many passengers, and it's just because I want a larger catchment area. I want to pick up as many houses here and get as much passenger production as possible. I'm not going to worry about mail because really not until a town reaches, I want to say maybe like 2,000 or 3,000 do you really have a opportunity to deliver mail. It'll still get produced. So like just looking at this house here, it produces passengers and mail. It only accepts passengers. You need stuff like these office buildings or flats to actually accept mail and accept enough of it in your catchment area to actually make a difference. So here again, accepts 1/4 mail. I basically need 4 of these buildings in my catchment area to actually have it do something. So we've got that going. That's gonna pretty much get us, that'll beat the level for us, but we want to do this a little quicker. What else can we do? Pretty close. Let's do this chemicals. It's decently close. I like to, when I'm just trying to build a short line, always count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the catchment area will end. Throw down a station just to have something there. With the chemical plant, I'm going to try to keep it just on the same level because it's going to end up being cheaper. So once again, count 1, 2, 3, that works. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, this should be in our catchment zone. Great, we've got the station down. We're going to eventually run out. So why do I have my loan so low? It's just because, whoops, we overshot that one a little bit. The more interest or liability, let's say, that you're carrying, the more interest you get charged. And if you keep this number low at the end of the month, you basically don't have to worry about that. Or it's not that you don't have to worry about it, it's just not as detrimental. So 8 is a little much for the special 240. This engine is not powerful at all. I think it's, 450 horsepower. So this guy's going to struggle quite a bit. Once again, we're just going for speed. This is the only engine that we have available. This is going to, again, just help us beat the level a little bit faster. If I wanted to add an additional engine on that, I could. I find that it doesn't really make such a huge difference, especially at the lower horsepowers, but you still could do it. Whoops. We're going to just beat this so quickly. I don't really care about the cost too much here. All right, and that should be fine to take us to the steel mill. That looks like it's about right. Great. Now, at this point, I will use a second engine because I want to get 8 cars on here. Just because that's what fits in the station. It's going to end up being a lot more efficient. But there's no way the special is going to be able to carry this much tonnage. I mean, these cars are empty and it's even struggling. Lower that down again. Back on fast forward. You don't need to see a whole lot here. All right, we're going to finish this in just a moment here. As soon as this month ends, the challenge is going to end because we have more cargo delivered, so there we are. All right, 2 down. Many to go. Weatherworld. This is a set map. All you have to do is deliver passengers. Easiest way to do this is just find the big cities and throw down some buses, some trams, or whatever. You're in Europe, or Great Britain, I should say. So the trains here are pretty good. If you want to use this multiple unit to move a lot of passengers, certainly an option. I'm going to start with the buses just because that's a lot faster. Let's get over here. Problem is the buses in this level are pretty pathetic, but we just need to move passengers. We don't need to do it efficiently. So this will get us most of the way there. I'm just going to find 2 other spots. If you just make any station off of Foggywood, it's going to be fine. I'm just going to build a little tiny commuter system from Sunnyside to Little Turbulence. They have tons of people here. Oops, we didn't even establish our colors. I was wondering why I couldn't see anything. So let's get this station accumulating passengers. That's another little hack. If you're anticipating completing your railroad fairly quickly, it's good to just throw down your stations right away. Just makes your cargo accumulate a little faster, especially passengers tend not to accumulate that quickly. So this helps a little bit. All these industries are great normally, but we don't have a goal to do that. So I forgot to attach the electric third rail. I'm just going to do that after the fact here. So I've got 2. This will move 200 passengers a clip. This station should have a decent bit. We're not going to quite get 200 right off the bat, but once again, we're going to just try to do this very quickly. I might not even have time to finish this one before the level ends, but we're going to do 1 more here. And just to get this going a little bit quicker. This is not the most efficient thing to do when you don't have like gobs of money lying around, but it does work out in a pinch. I'm just going to take this train right through town. I know I knocked it. See, wasn't even able to get it done. Extremely easy. Just got to play the game. Done with the beginner stuff. Pretty easy. I'll probably end it here, start up a new video for the easy challenges, just to keep it fairly segmented. So I will see you all in the next one.